sites that they said it's okay with. Well, yeah. I have a feeling that I have a pretty old audience. Here's the deal. I want to get into TikTok. Kind of. Like, not necessarily do stuff on TikTok. I want to just, like... I like some of the things on TikTok. They make me laugh. Hedgemaze is asking, what is a TikTok? Well, let me go ahead and say TikTok, TikTok. Holy crap. It's time for me to do the reveal. Crappy, lead us past E.T.'s gardening. Oh, geez. There he is. There he is. Okay. Woo. We survived. Because it's very important that you give this GM a loud welcome. It's been a little while since they've been on, but I am really excited to have our GM, Tristan Eggburb. Are you a bird orb? A borb? Are you a borb?
I don't think I'm currently, nor have I ever in the past been a borb, but I would have to check my diary.
You are a borb to me.
Thanks.
Yeah. All out of love, okay? Lovey-dovey Borb is here to go ahead and show us a video game. Honestly, though, I feel like Borb is kind of relevant to the game that you're giving out. I'm not sure about the orb part, but the bird part, for sure.
The bird part's a little relevant. To pull back the curtain a little bit, for anyone that's not aware, each weekend, there's a couple of GMs who sign up to be backups just in case a GM can't make it. And I did this for Halloween weekend, which meant I had to go find a spooky game just in case. We ended up not needing it, and I'm like, dang it, I'm gonna make someone play this. So we get Halloween a week late with the amazing vampire classic Count Duckula for the ZX Spectrum.
Count Duckula 2. You forgot.
Count Duckula 2,
This is a sequel. Was there an original?
There was an original.
Oh, cool.
And,
I didn't know, actually.
it was pretty bad, too.
Okay. That's fair. Well, Count Duckula 2 for the ZX Spectrum. I'm going to go ahead and work on getting things captured. Don't worry, Tristan. I will share the stream on Discord so that... and you won't hear yourself. You'll hear whatever sound effects are coming through, so you can just, like, wait for me to... Nah, I'll go ahead and push it live. Everything's going to look ugly to you because I'm working on getting things captured. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I get to criticize your capturing technique.
Don't
Great.
you dare, okay? People... some of the other GMs... sit back and they're like, oh, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. I'm like, well, the audience can't see it right now, okay? Because I'm prepping. I'm getting things ready, okay? Just stop it. Stop freaking out. Stop freaking me out. Just stop. Sometimes they stop. Other times they just lean into it and I'm like, ah! Like if it's Blasphemous Roar, I know I'm going to get somebody, he's going to lean in.
You know, the funny thing about this is you were explaining this, and the first thing that came to mind is, and then Roar shows up and criticizes you.
You know what? It's true. Like, if always expect a Blasphemous Roar because you're probably going to get one at one point or another during the day. I like it. I love my surprise Roar visits. I just wish that he would stay longer. Or that, yeah, Roar, you should stay longer because, the end. That I don't need a reason. No rhyme, no reason. It's just the season for me, for the pleasing. You gotta please me by showing up and staying.
So while you're cropping stuff, let me share a paragraph from Wikipedia about this game that's pretty great. There's a very short Wikipedia article in this game. It's like 3 paragraphs, and one of the paragraphs toward the end, you know, the 3-paragraph article, states that critically, this game consistently achieves some of the lowest review scores in the 8-bit era and is considered one of the worst games published for these platforms. Sinclair user reviewed the game, awarding it 64%, concluding if you like silent, slow, basic, dated, unresponsive, and annoying games, get it.
Oh my god.
That's a 64?
That is a burn. That is a burn and a half. It does worry me about the boring part of it, but I have a feeling that we may get to listen to some other music during the match, depending on what happens here. Also, depending on how quiet it is. I don't know. Maybe it's really quiet. Maybe it's not. I certainly hear something that I could call music.
It's got title screen music, and then that's it. Then there's sound effects, maybe.
Beep, boop, boop,
The
boop,
sound
boop,
effect
boop.
music, or the sound effect? What? The title screen music is a bop, though.
You know what? We have a lot of good people here, though. Look, we've got Tempestrel on the bottom right. Tempestrel is somebody who has been pretty active in the community and I believe has done GMing in the past. I'm really glad to have Tempestrel here. Always a blast. And I ran into him at the last GDQ, and yeah, he's actually a pretty legit fellow. But we also have Necerius, Kaylin, and Lobst. Like, I do recognize some of the names here fairly well, but also, like, Necerius, I think this might be his first year.
No, there's no flashing like the logo in the game. There's not really much of graphics in this game, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. I appreciate Linkura asking, because we don't always know when it comes to certain... What was that?
That was me punching my pop filter, which doesn't filter pops when you're punching the pop filter.
I was actually thinking, like, it almost sounded like it was coming from one of the streams, and there was just, like, this very deep bass. Boom, 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 boom.
The Specky can't do bass, I'm afraid.
No, it's all tenor, alto. This is more alto. A little soprano right there. Thank you so much for those notes, Duckula. I appreciate it. With that said, I think I'm just about ready to begin this match. Again, I'm really glad that you get to be here today. Yay. Today, yay.
Yeah.
That's just like how they say it in the YouTube poops, okay? Because they reverse the end of words and, like, play the sound again. So a lot of people, when they say, like, it's a wonderful day, yay. It's such a satisfying thing to do in, like, making whatever. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm ready. Are you all set? I gotta see if they are good to go. Yeah, you know what, Tristan, this upcoming Tuesday, we are having our second Halloween Don't Make Us Bored episode, and yeah, it's technically over a week after Halloween at that point. I don't care. Like,
Yeah, I mean, people are already doing Christmas stuff in, like, stores and whatnot, and I'm just like, I haven't let go of Halloween yet.
they were doing Christmas stuff like the weekend before Halloween. And it made me so angry. Like, why would you do that? Oh, all of the players are ready. So chat, I know you have a lot of scary emotes, okay? I've seen them in chat. Don't you dare spam my face. I'm gonna be so angry if anybody does. Spam your scary emotes because we are going to do the countdown now. Yeah. Spam, everybody. Countdown begins. Fish are scary. The geese, those are pretty terrifying as well. They'll bite your nose. Okay, the scary face from Action 52, that's a good one. Oh, skellies! Skellies are scary. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay. So.
Okay, so let me just go ahead and give you my reactions. We've got like 3 characters in the ship, as well as like somebody working at McDonald's selling you ketchup. And that's what I understand from the screen.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
So, this game mode where we're in a ship and we're doing the shoot 'em up stuff, this is going to end in about 30 seconds or now. We're never going to see that again. This is the actual game.
We're never going to see that again? Uh-oh.
Well, we'll see it again if people have to restart, but that's the only shooter segment. Everything else is platformer. It looks like a Tiger Electronics handheld game. If you fall more than about the height of Count Duckula, you die. So there's fall death.
I remember
and
this.
Yeah, I gave this out in season 5, season 4.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, okay.
And this was the game I kept in my back pocket in case someone I knew and talked to about Kusog7ande picks ended up in Kusog7ande. Like, you know, I bounced some of these games off of some friends of mine who aren't in the tournament. Well, one of the people I bounced these games off of joined the tournament, so I went, well, I gotta find something that no one has ever seen before.
Okay.
And this was it. And then someone else here is someone I know on social media, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to use the short list of games that I never talked to anybody about again. And since it was Halloween, it's like, yeah, Duckula, sure.
I love it. I think that's pretty fantastic. I still, like, there are times when I'm giving a game out to a group that I think, you know, let's go ahead and go through the stuff that I want to see, but they probably all already know about because... Yeah. And let, you know, and just see how long it takes until I give up and give them something really, really bad. But you can come swinging out of the gate. That's fine.
I mean, like I said, I specifically set this game up for Halloween themed stuff because Duckula is a vampire duck, I guess.
So I've heard.
And I did that work, and then as it turned out, I didn't need to step in for the GM who may or may not have been available. And I'm like, well, I did all this work to set this up and get it working on, you know, on our platform. I'm going to use it.
Yeah. By the way, huge props to all of the GMs who have been helping to test the various games that we have. Huge props to Corn for doing a lot of work getting the emulators together. Props to all of the players who tested all of the emulators that we have before they started the match so that, you know, they knew it would work. Seriously, like, all of this has a lot of coordination between people to make sure that everything comes together for these matches. So thanks to everybody. With that said...
Oh, okay.
I
want to touch on something right quick as well. This is a tape-based game.
Okay.
For the Spectrum. It has a literal 11-minute load time. I timed it. It's 11 minutes.
That's a little long.
So I gave the racers a save state at the title screen. And I just said, if you reset, you should just load this because you're going to lose about a fifth of the match to loading if
So
you don't.
What's the how are we tracking progress in this game? What is the progress?
Just getting as far to the right as possible for the most part. Practically every screen is just Yoku blocks. So I'm going by how far along you get. But if you like fall down to the bottom of the screen and can't get back up, I'm not going to count it if you just run to the right.
I do want you to know that Tempestrol is saying that this is a prank because this is not a game.
I felt a little bad because I looked. I don't typically look at who's in a race before I decide what I want to give out. I decide and then I look.
I usually feel the same.
This.
Yeah.
I picked this and then I looked and I realized this is like a 15-point group. And this is really bad.
A 15-point group is actually really not that bad at this point. That means that, you know, they took first and third in general, or 2 second places in a row.
Right, we're still in round 2, right?
This is round 3.
Or round 3, right?
Yeah, so, you know, there will be one player eliminated. They have to have at least 19 points by the end of round 3. So if this is a 15-point group, the person who...
Never mind, I don't feel bad at all then.
Yeah, the person who takes third, you know, will have a total of 20 points and they'll be moving on. Don't never feel bad for your games. Okay, always feel bad, but also, you know, never. I hate this, like, okay, on Kaylin's screen at the top right, she's just trying to avoid this holly jolly worm thing. Why does the worm have a hat?
I don't know.
It's pretty cool. Like, I like it. Yeah, you just have to be patient there, it seems. Like,
That's the name of the game. You have to be patient, or that happens on Kalen's screen.
Thought that the name was Count Duckula too. This is evil. This is wow.
Yeah. So practically every room in this game is Yoku blocks, like the Mega Man style series of blocks that appear and disappear.
Oh yeah.
And you have fall death if you fall more than about the height of Count Duckula himself. And you have no air control really once you start falling. So you'll come to a platform that's like one tile below you and you think, oh, I'll just jump and land on it. Well, that's far enough that you die because you jumped. So a lot of this is just standing on the block and waiting for the next block to become available and figuring out what the sequence is and what blocks you have to jump early and which ones you don't.
Yeah. Honestly, you don't have a timer on the screen. It's probably going to be more advantageous to just sit and watch for a little bit to make sure that, you know, you're not getting trolled by this really bad game. Nesarius typing in chat, this is so dumb. And Tempestral, this is dire. I don't Okay. It's been a long time since I've seen people complain this much in a match chat, and let me just say, it's really a breath of fresh air to see them all hating on this game so much.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, someone does point out because, it's Kalen who points out, you know, Count Duckula is a bird and has bird bones, and their theory is that he is very fragile because a lot of birds have hollow bones, allowing them to fly. But if you just plummet, maybe he's in a vacuum. If you're a vampire, I don't imagine you have to have oxygen, but you can still break your little bird bones.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I mean, he did fly through space to get here.
I hate the HUD. I don't understand the HUD. I don't understand the jailbird McDonald's character.
Good. Okay.
Do you know what that is?
The HUD, the number next to the L is the life counter. There are no continues.
Okay.
The ketchup bottle is your ammo because, like, canonically Count Duckula has, like, a ketchup blaster.
Oh.
And one of those indicators is if you can summon Terence, and I don't off the top of my head remember which one. And you summon Terence by holding down and hitting the button because there's only one button.
Okay.
And he will show up, pick you up, and carry you to the next room, no questions asked. I didn't tell them about this. I do believe Kalen discovered it on accident earlier.
I mean, like, honestly, it may become useful, but at the same time, you just gotta experiment with controls, see if there's anything, you know. My theory is anytime that you move to a new gameplay style of location, you can almost guarantee there's going to be something with the controls that is not super obvious unless you have the manual. So once you get out of outer space, and to the platforming section, you gotta try combinations of everything.
Yeah.
Wow. This game is hideous.
So Lops missed the Yoku blocks. They actually died while trying to jump, and I don't recall if this is one of the rooms where the cycle takes literally 2 minutes to come back around, or if this is the room where the cycle completes and then it just stops, and now, okay, there we go, it's back.
Oh.
It's a 2-minute cycle.
Wait, in which room?
The room Lops is in right now.
Well, that's cool. 2 minutes.
Uh-huh.
I also like very sick Princess Leia in this. Like, I'm not sure. She probably ate some really, really bad fast food.
I have no idea what that's for.
She's sick. Get her a Tums, okay? She needs a Tums. Like, and then there's corn to the left. Can you bring corn to the princess?
Why would you?
It's
oh no!
Just a box labeled corn.
Why, if the princess is sick, why would you bring corn to her?
Bring, like, anything. Maybe, I don't know how corn works on
You don't know how corn works?
I don't know how corn works. It's a magical grain slash vegetable. What the crap is it even? And yet it has all the juice, according to that
It's
one
okay.
TikTok.
It's okay, folks. Bro is from Utah. He doesn't know how corn works. It's just a Utah.
It's a Utah thing. We don't know how corn works. Yeah. Like, we have to consult the entire state of Nebraska whenever we gotta get some corn information, you know?
I feel kind of bad for Lops because they've been trying to get through this room for 6 lives, and every time they die, they have to wait for the cycle to restart, and it takes forever.
It's the game of patience, except not literally the game of patience. There's probably one called Patience, and it just sucks. Isn't there a board game called Patience? There has to be.
There is, I'm sure.
There's Operation. That one's about cutting people open. That one's cool. And you get to electrocute them sometimes. I think that maybe I missed the point of the game, you know?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, we got music for about 3 seconds. Okay, so there is a card solitaire. Okay, so apparently if you play solitaire on with cards, that's called Patience in Europe. Well, that sucks. No, they have a better name for it because solitaire is just trash. Seriously. Pure RNG if you're going to be able to finish it or not. And guess what? Your RNG is actually you. You are the RNG because you're shuffling. You're taking the cards, you go...
Every day.
Yeah. Every day? Man, you play too much solitaire.
I'm not the one who wrote the song. So Lops did end up getting a game over in what I call like the castle dungeon room, which I believe is good enough for first place at the moment. Kaylin is stuck in this hole.
Understandable. Have a nice day. Oh, there we go. Kaylin is out of the wormhole. It's a hole with the worm in it. There's also corn there. Like, does the corn assist? No. I mean,
the last time I checked, the corn like sets up the emulators for you.
That's, oh my gosh. Tristan. Is that how Corn Dan got things? Oh my gosh! Corn Dan set up the emulators. I am learning so much about grains today. Corn is everywhere. Corn is
15 minutes into the first match and we're already completely off the road. It's great.
Honestly,
Kaylin is on the castle dungeon room, but has to wait for the cycle.
Just waiting, always waiting. Honestly, I don't think Count Duckula was the most patient of ducks. Patient.
Duckula was a little bit of a problem.
Why? Because of vampire stuff?
I don't remember the cartoon extremely well because it's been like 20 years since I've seen it, but I seem to recall Duckula just having like massive anger problems.
I mean, if you're a vampire and you haven't had your corn for the day, what would you do? Would you murder? Maybe. And then we've got a weird Duckula recruitment poster in Necerius's room. We want you. What do you want me for?
Your blood.
Well, that's game over. Your ketchup. Your corn.
Yeah, your ketchup. That's right.
Because apparently corn is very versatile. Yeah.
I believe Kaylin got a little bit further than Lopst, and then Tempestrel is on the same spot where Kaylin got the game over and should be able to move on from here.
Look at that stupid pig. Okay, we're into the weird... There's a ketchup bottle. I see moving platforms and disappearing, reappearing platforms. And yeah, this doesn't look like a good place to be.
It's not.
Actually,
Tempestrel's doing really well, though. He's got 7 lives and he's in first place already. Oh, oops. So this is one of those games where platforms I would say they don't move you, so you have to move, but that's only kind of correct.
Okay.
When a platform moves, you tend to follow it while riding on it about half as fast. It's the worst of every world.
Yeah. Okay, so somehow I did forget that this was in Kusog7ande before, and I believe that was where Mr. T got eliminated in Kuso 5. Mr. T has now come back with a vengeance, and it's been a fantastic GM. I've really enjoyed having him around. But yeah, Facet and High Spirits were the ones who did particularly well in that match. So
yeah, Facet didn't talk to me for like a week after that match.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. I'd be like, you did the thing. You made them angry.
It's funny though, because Facet was my testing ground for all my Kusog7ande games, and then I just picked a match and found out they were in the match, and it's like, well, what do I do?
Yeah. By the way, what about the 3 characters at the bottom? Because you've got Duckula, you've got the weird vulture dude, you've got like...
So
I'm not sure what the 3rd character is, but I feel like that's how I dressed back when I was a Mormon in the Mormon temples, you know, wearing the robe, kind of, except we had baker hats instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Duckula, Cosgrove, and I think Terence. They serve absolutely no purpose in the HUD.
Okay, that's nice.
This is from the era where it was cool to have like 30% of your screen taken up with a static HUD element and also made the game run faster.
Yeah, well, not only that, but like with any of the emulators, it's a very much smaller screen within the emulator. I'm not necessarily sure if monitors had that big border on the outside, but you had to do what you could in order to actually make a game like function. And screen space was one of those things that developers had to keep in mind like all the time. And yeah, like with the ZX Spectrum, you don't scroll. If you're doing scrolling, you're either a magician or you're doing it wrong. Like look at Tempestral's level. You can have dots scrolling and you still go down in frame rate, like seriously. Because of the freaking dots, you've got like 5 moving things and you're down to chop, chop, chop. Not quite virtual highlight level of stuff, but you know, we're still getting down there.
Yeah.
What is the
It's absolutely true.
tombstone that's bouncing around?
It causes damage to you.
Okay.
I don't.
And by damage, you mean it kills you.
So in the shmup section, you can take a number of hits, but there's no indicator of how many.
Okay.
Just every time you get hit, the entire HUD has the 3 characters like cringe. And after you get hit a certain number of times, you die. I don't know, like health gauge. What's that?
Yeah, you don't need a health gauge.
No.
Unless it's the ketchup bottle.
The ketchup bottle is your ammo.
I've never seen anybody shoot. How do you shoot?
They have a couple of times. Part of the problem is you get like one opportunity in the entire game to refill your ammo. It's that ketchup bottle that's on Kalen's screen right now.
Oh, yeah. How do you shot ketchup?
I mean, there is a button because it's the ZX Spectrum, and you press the button. And also, this is an up-to-jump game.
Yeah, that's not too surprising. The one thing that we do let people do, unless otherwise specifically stated, we let people remap controls if they so desire, because we live in the year 2022, and you should be able to do that for literally any game.
No, Lobst!
However, I do appreciate... Oh my gosh. I've been having people come onto the GDQ Hotfix grudge match. And Okami of Games came with Neptune Daydream, and they played Donkey Kong Country on Z-SNES version 0.15 and insisted using the original DOS controls.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that meant that they were using the arrow keys as well as insert, delete, home, end, page up, and page down.
Oh, don't do that.
They did! They did that for an hour.
okay then.
Yeah, but in general, for Kusog7ande, we want the games to be bad, and just simply put, like, because everybody has their own, like, I don't want to go and make somebody who, like, has some issues with their hand, you know, not able to compete in the tournament. I want to be able to, like, let them play let them be in the tournament and let them play well. So, yeah, there are many times that if there's an up to jump game, I'll go ahead and map up to, like, the button on the joystick. Or not on the joystick, on the controller. What I would normally have is jump. And that's something that people are welcome to do. An issue with that, though, is that with a lot of older games, it sort of has an auto-fire jump where if you just hold up, you jump over and over and over again, which can be good in some ways. Like, jump buffering can actually help you make some more precise jumps in the game, but it can also be a curse, and as we saw in Jet Set Willy one time during a gauntlet, somebody got through an area and were just holding jump and ended up jumping and taking fall damage, and that being how they died and had to restart the area. Oh, what a good gauntlet that was.
So my take on that is fairly radical. I believe as long as it doesn't, like, open completely new strategies, Turbo should even be allowed in speedruns, because speedrunning is not worth destroying my hands when I already work like 9 hours a day on computers.
I'd say even if it does open new strategies, if it does make it a separate category, you can still do it. I don't freaking care. Play a game the way that you want to play it. When you start a tournament, set the rules up the way that you want. Like, in my opinion, allowing the maximum number of people to play, and not discouraging people who do have arthritis or other things that make it difficult to play at high speeds for a game. Just like everybody should be able to join Kusog7ande if they are interested. That is my philosophy.
So to catch up on where everyone has gotten, I think all 4 racers have gotten to the room after the dungeon room. It's the purple room with the 2 platforms going back and forth, and you have to negotiate falling off of one platform onto the other while the platforms don't carry you along with them properly. I think everyone has gotten to that room, but has gotten to different platforms on that room.
I think so,
I do believe that Tempestral almost escaped the room and fell off at the very end. But we're probably going to see more progress than that in the next 35 minutes. So hopefully I don't have to go diving into the VOD again to figure out who won. Hopefully they'll break this tie a little bit.
Yeah. You know what? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, as far as I remember, corn. We never talked about corn, aside from the fact that you don't know how corn works. How corn works is,
please tell.
I believe if you collect enough of it, you get 1 extra life, which
what
doesn't help.
I need more corn. Oh my gosh! I can't believe I didn't know that.
Yeah,
man, I didn't even go to the corn maze this year. Freaking!
That's what the USDA has told me. That if you just make your entire diet corn, you gain an extra life.
Can you imagine making your entire personality corn?
I imagine the USDA would love that too.
I was just thinking, my father works at a phosphate mine for a company, and a company, I believe, Simplot, which actually is one of the largest producers of potatoes. And there was one time that apparently he went to dinner with executives, and one of the executives was like, yeah, and everybody, go ahead and buy some French fries or some potato-based product so that it helps our stocks. My father started laughing, and all of the executives looked at him straight-faced. They were not joking.
I laughed too.
That was not a joke to them. And my dad's like, ooh, tough crowd.
I mean, that they consider it not a joke makes it even funnier.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good that the executives were like, yeah, buy potato. Buy potate, okay? You have to buy potate. and then ate it.
I've been boycotting potatoes ever since I played Final Fantasy 14.
Why? Have I not gotten to a part about potatoes in FF14? Is there some potato quest? I want to do the potato quest.
Oh man, maybe. I don't know how far you got in that.
I am halfway through Stormblood.
You should have gotten to that part.
How come I don't remember potatoes? Do you eat a potato and it's actually like not a potato? Maybe like...
No, but one got diced.
What? Yeah, no, Between Myself, do not ask this question. Between Myself asked which Final Fantasy 14 patch has the potato quest, and I am going to flip out if you dare ask this crap. I'm just looking at Potato Quest FF14. Do not give me a patch number. There's a botanist quest. Botanist. I haven't done that, and I eventually might.
So, Lalafell are typically called potatoes, and there's a couple of quests where one particular Lalafell is just particularly awful.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that as being diced potatoes, but yeah, I understand now. Okay, gotcha.
Fortunately, that entire arc gets cut short.
I'm taking that as a joke, okay? I'm not 100% sure that was a joke, but I'm going to interpret that as a joke. Oh.
It was a half joke.
Stop talking about Lalafells this way. Oh my gosh.
I came armed with this, all right?
Well, they didn't. What? Wait. Was that the scene that's really disarming?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I know exactly what you're talking about then. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you were able to get a hand on it.
Oh, okay. Everybody.
Was that too deep of a cut?
Honestly, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say no. Everybody, if you haven't played Final Fantasy 14 and you don't understand what the crap is going on, that's okay. No spoilers. Come back and watch this in like 5 years, and after you've played through FF14's and at least up to the award-winning Heavensward, and you will understand what is happening right now. And if you don't, then too bad.
I just want you to know that I have like 3 of my friends screaming at me in DM on Discord now.
Oh, good. I want people to scream at me more. Oh my gosh, it's only Twitch chat that screams at me. Nobody else does.
Fair.
Twitch chat, thank you so much for paying attention to me. It validates me. We want you, Twitch chat, to have this really ugly child's face. Ugh. Sorry, I'm just looking at Nesarius' screen. Is this the one after... How far is this? Because I don't like this child.
Oh, man, I was so busy just being a dingus. I gotta sync up on where everyone is here. I believe Nesarius is not currently setting a high water mark for progress. This is a couple of rooms back.
Okay.
Tempestral has been killing it. I'm thinking he may actually get a completion. There's only like 16 rooms in this game.
There's only one planet and 16 rooms? That's impressively short. Yay, chat yelled at me. Thank you, chat. I love you too.
Good.
Tempestral just got
someone
a game
else can
over,
take up
but
the
I
yelling
actually
duty.
didn't see anything hit Tempestral.
I wasn't looking.
Tempestral jumped on a platform in Tweed 2, Jack in the Boxes, landed, stood there for a second, and said, game over. So I'm just going to assume that, like, Count Chocula gave up. Or not Chocula. He's a duck. He's Duckula.
I mean, he's basically Count Chocula too.
I do want people to know, by the way, the person who did the music in this game, which you're all enjoying, I'm sure, did a lot of music for other games like Altered Beast and Pinball Dreams. Oh my gosh, Pinball Dreams has such good music. There's Cybermorph and Cliffhanger, Postman Pat 3 to the rescue, you know, all of the hits. Yeah. They only did the music for the title screen, okay? I'm being cheeky. The programmer, Mike Hutchinson, worked on a handful of games, but not a whole lot. We had Arkanoid and Jackal, and one of the Final Fight games, I guess. One of the ports of Double Dragon 2. Probably going to be... Oh my gosh. There was a ZX Spectrum of Double Dragon 2? That's not good.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So one of my favorite things about the Spectrum, and you can see it on the HUD here, where you have the division between Duckula's green forehead and like his yellow beak. The yellow bleeds up into his eyes a little bit, and the green down into his eyes.
Yep.
For whatever reason, the Spectrum was only really capable of coloring the screen in certain square incremental regions.
Yep. Each square could only have 2 colors. And that's why the middle character, you see the red from the head sort of bleeding into the hair on the sides. Good artists were able to mask that. Average artists were able to do what you have here.
Yeah, just lean into it.
I would say this is more average when it comes to ZX Spectrum, like, still graphics here. Like, there's worse, but there's also very much better. I remember I was showing a picture of, what was it? Rygar for the ZX Spectrum, because the title screen for that is actually gorgeous. Let me pull that up again.
So Lopst may be about to complete here, but this is a room that, unless you go for the skip, the platforms just go in a circle and it takes forever. So we'll see.
Like, okay, Tristan, if you're looking at my stream right now, this picture for Rygar is also, it has to use those squares with only 2 colors in each square. And yet you have
never mind, that wasn't completion.
You have this variety here. It's amazing.
I misremembered. That is, that was not completion. Cosgrove is just there for the heck of it. I was like, was this the end? This doesn't seem like the end. No, it's not the end. There's more game.
Oh, okay.
But, and yeah, I see that. And Argus, the protagonist of the Rygar series, has become extremely beautiful. But also, this is US Gold, and that gives me terrors.
Yeah, it's not saying that the game is necessarily good, but the art is fantastic. I just have to say that. It's, you know, it maybe isn't as good as some of the other versions of art, but honestly, I almost prefer this to the other versions just because they worked with so many limitations and still made a art that was this dynamic. It's impressive. Yeah. Now we've got Count Duckula here, and it's okay. Yeah, I do not know why there are nutcrackers in the game. I don't know why there are weird, like, we want you army propaganda things. I don't know why the trucks are in the air. That's not where I keep my Jeeps. Oh! Kaylin got greedy and tried to just jump as soon as she landed on one of the moving platforms, and that unfortunately led to a death there. This game is not great.
That's kind of the core of the game, is the moment you stop being patient, which is extremely easy to do when there's a timer ticking.
Where's
you're
the
gonna
timer?
have a problem. I mean, the race timer.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Hey, everybody, this is a race. These people haven't played this game before, and they're trying to make as much progress as they can over the course of the hour. While
That is
somebody could win, it doesn't matter if anyone does, because what you want to do is just establish your high water mark, and we will judge you based off of your personal best attempt in the game.
So Kalen chose to use Terence to skip the dungeon room that has like the 2-minute platform cycle, and I think it's a pretty wise pick.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna use, if there is a level skip, skip the really either the deadliest or the longest room, and seriously, nothing in between should even be a consideration.
So what I would probably do at least once, probably close to the end, is I would hold on to that until I have 0 lives left and then use it. Just to see if I can cheat out one more room.
Yeah.
But that's a one-time thing you do to try to squeeze out one more room before time is called.
Yeah, I think that that's a decent place to use it. There could be better places, but really... Oh, Kayla, no, you got greedy. You got the ketchup and then death.
So someone in chat was talking about how they're glad they weren't born in the Specky era because these games look kind of bad. And something I've learned while researching this stuff is there's kind of a hierarchy on at least how ports and licensed games work.
Mm-hmm.
Where, for the most part, you have games that came out on DOS or an actual console, and then they get ported to the ZX Spectrum, and the port is usually pretty bad because the drawing code, especially for the sprites and the colors, is not portable from DOS. It's just not. There's no way. Or Amiga, for that matter. And then from there, if the game also gets ported to the Amstrad CPC, that tends to be even another notch down in quality.
Yep. I mean, the ZX Spectrum was not really created for you to play games. It's a home computer, you know? So,
yeah,
I mean, this was still like pre-internet home computer, you know? You're probably going to go and like use a word processor or like maybe like do your taxes. You're not going to play Count Duckula, but you got to pick up at least 1 or 2 games for your kids because they're going to want to do something cool on the computer. And honestly, if you're going to be doing your taxes, you might as well like have Count Duckula on it as well. So that you know, so that you're not just doing your taxes, you're going to get bored during it and you got to pull up a game. And you know, this might just be one of those games, you know, do taxes for 11 minutes while this loads. No, JK, you couldn't do that because it was the computer was too focused on loading Count Duckula. 11-minute load, though. Holy crap.
Yeah, which is why I gave out the save state. It's terrible. And the entire time it's doing that load, the screen is flashing. So I'm like, I'm not going to subject anyone to this.
No.
Last year, I gave out Power Drift, and everyone got so excited and was confused. Like, how are you giving out Power Drift in Kusog7ande? And it was the Power Drift and Amstrad CPC port.
Yeah.
Which one was awful and slow, and 2 had no music.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I really do wonder how many people use these older computers, like, got a personal home computer at home, and did stuff that was, like, real business stuff. Like if you're a business owner, you probably did, but what if you don't own your own business?
We had a Commodore 64. My brother had it before I was born, and when I was a little wee tiny thing, and it was a game console to my family. It wasn't. We didn't.
Yeah, like the Atari 800 XL that we had, technically a home computer. Did my father ever do anything that wasn't gaming on it? I don't think so.
The Commodore at least had this really powerful marketing blitz about how it's for business, though, with the like, are you keeping up tagline and everything. So they tried really hard to pivot that into a business machine as well as a gaming console, and largely had success, as I understand it. Just my family was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the keyboard on the Specky was awful, and it was it was one of those like all-in-one decks, so you couldn't just replace the keyboard with another one.
By the way, if you don't know, the spec key is the ZX Spectrum. Lobst used the level skip in the really long level as well, the dungeon.
I think it's a good play, because if you miss that platform cycle once, you lose multiple minutes waiting for it again. Because, like, if you get to the top of that building and you miss the platform cycle, you can't just drop down and keep going because there's fall death. You have to wait for the platforms.
So, you know what? I actually got some lore sent to us from Karo Z. Apparently there was lore on the original... Actually, this looks like it was an insert for a cassette tape, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's a story. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Before you start, though, it looks like Tempestrel is about to take first place. I believe if he makes one more jump, he'll be in first.
Ooh, very nice. I know Tempestrel is also chilling and just waiting to see if he's missing something, which is not a bad move. Kusog7ande,
he won't make this jump from block to block, so there's got to be something else here. I don't remember what it is.
Either you have to fall down on the moving platform. Nope.
Nope. That's exactly how Lops died.
You're going to have to make it to the right side then. You either have to make a very precise jump, or there's going to be a platform that takes like 5 minutes to appear. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
That's first place for Tempestrel.
Very nice. Now that should be low enough to actually make it onto this platform.
Yes. The problem is that goes far enough to the right, it might just scrape you off of it.
If the platforms are already there below you, that might not be a huge deal like that.
There we go. He is on to new territory for us.
I don't think I've ever seen this room.
Nope, cupcake room.
I love that it's called the cupcake room just because there's a picture of a cupcake.
I mean, that's what I'm calling it. It's like how every room in Super Metroid has a name because speedrunners have to be able to address them, some of which I can't repeat.
Yeah, well, welcome to people having fun, having to come up with names for something. Of course they're going to come up with some perverted names. You gotta have, like, you can be a little perverted, it's fine. Okay, speedrunners, I'm going to go ahead and allow that. You can be a little perverted. Just don't be, like, gross or racist. Well, don't be too gross and don't be racist, okay?
Tempestrel's trying to figure out what to do here. There is an eventual platform cycle, and there it is.
Ah! I see a platform. Tempestrel doesn't want to go. Oh, there it is. Yeah. How long does it take for the platform to disappear? She hit Count Duckula with her bow. Okay. Like, the hitboxes in this game are dumb. I got to say. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I would say that if you're coming up with names for something, just come up with stuff that's going to be memorable.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as you're not being like a stupid edgelord. If a room looks like a big boob, you can name it the boob room. It's fine. The boob room. Boobs are real. Okay?
Would you know?
What would I know? Okay, let me just say, the odd thing is that the time that I probably saw the most boobs in my life was when I was a missionary in Brazil.
That tracks.
Yeah. Well, guess what? A lot of people, like, were more than America, people were okay breastfeeding.
Yeah.
But it still is really funny to be like a very sheltered Mormon boy. I'm gay and not Mormon now, but back when I was, and being a very sheltered Mormon boy, going up and like essentially giving a church talk or sermon or whatever you want to call it in front of people and seeing like multiple boobs in the audience. It's like, okay, in the congregation, it's like, I wasn't prepared for this.
I mean, every time I've gotten on stage, I've seen multiple boobs in the audience, but we may be talking about a different kind.
I think we're talking about different boobs here, yeah.
Okay.
And, like, eventually I got to the point where I was like, okay, that's just culture. And honestly, I feel like we're a little bit... America, we're a little bit, maybe a little too uptight about these things. It's fine. You gotta breastfeed your children, okay? It's good. Go ahead, do that. We're talking about breastfeeding during Count Duckula. That's right.
So, yeah, Tempestral game overed
Okay.
well past, like, well into first, a couple of rooms ahead of where Lops got to, which was the purple room after the Cosgrove intermission, I guess we can call it.
Oh, the reason we're seeing so many creepy women who are, like, creepy ladies who say, we want you, and cupcakes and dungeons. Apparently this is Planet Cute, and Count Duckula hates cute things.
Roar, no. Why have you put that image into my brain?
Okay. I don't know if I want to talk about this for the sake of the YouTube VOD later, but you acknowledged it, and I feel like YouTube wants to know what you just saw in Twitch chat.
They're not going to know.
We have talked about Shrek Empreg on this stream before, okay? This isn't a new discussion topic.
I'm not going here.
So, yeah, I would go ahead and say that talking about boobs during Count Duckula is fine. Ducks don't have mammary glands. It's just... There we go. We got chat yelling at me again. It's been so long, chat. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody.
I tried to not go there.
No, YouTube, thank me. You need to thank me for letting you know the context of why Tristan is laughing right now. See, Tristan, I have to think in multiple dimensions when I'm doing commentary here. And I have to think about the future generations who are watching this VOD and confused about why you were laughing.
Look, just as long as you don't get to the point where you're thinking about the, like, four-sided interdimensional day or whatever, we're fine.
Are you talking about Time Cube?
I'm talking about Time Cube.
Yeah, I love Time Cube. Even though I think Time Cube was racist. So, y'all...
Probably. I haven't read it all.
Y'all, be more like Metroid speedrunners and less like Time Cube, okay?
We'll go with that. Oh, this has been... about 4/10 of a disaster, and I love it.
Oh, yeah, I'd say that, like, here's the deal. I can find weird conspiracy theories fun after the person who made them is dead, and after, like, I don't think there was anybody who took it seriously. So,
I would hope not.
The guy has passed, and now we can laugh about Time Cube. And how dumb it is. Time Cube, the essential theory is that time is a cube. There you go.
That's it.
There was also a lot of stuff about burritos in it, which made me a little bit more, like, in favor of the cube. I'm not.
I want a burrito.
I don't remember how the burritos played into it, though. I got a burrito last night, by the way. It was so good.
Envy. We're down to about 10 minutes left. Tempestral is definitely... rather strongly in the lead. I believe Lops is just behind, and then I will need to see where Nsarius and Kalen end up in the next couple of minutes to call for sure.
Oh, you know what's so sad? Actually, no, I'm not sad. I was gonna say something, but I forgot it. That's okay. I get to do a little setup during these last few minutes we have, so, you know, everybody keep your eyes on the Ducks. Because we're getting close to the end here. We gotta see who takes the victory. But some people are getting eliminated from this, right? I believe we have at least one person who's going to be eliminated.
Yeah, I think this is a 14-15 point bracket, so whatever that means.
That means that one person will be eliminated, whoever's in last. And what's it looking like right now for that? We're not eliminating anybody from life. In fact, it's probably restoring life to them.
Probably. It looks like it's going to come down to who between Sarius and Kalen gets further, but that could change. There's still time for that to switch up.
Okay.
Sarius did just take a game over, though, so this is probably going into his last attempt.
Yeah, there's still enough time, though. Like, the game doesn't take a whole lot of time if you skip the really, really long, boring room.
Which room is that?
the really, really long, boring one. The 2-minute cycle one. That one.
Yeah, I know. To me, a lot of these are kind of long and boring, but that's what makes this game particularly... I try not to give out, like, mediocre or boring games, but I find this one is just so nothing, it's fascinating.
I would say that, like... This game is a strange exercise in patience, you know, because you have to race during this
Kalen
match.
has to jump up and like make contact with the butler up there, and I don't believe she. There we go.
There we go. You're
okay.
Through. Well, I would assume that the butler would hurt me as well, you know.
Yeah, it's a good assumption if you don't know the lore of Duckula.
Oh, you're so close, Kalen.
If you don't know the lore of Duckula and understand this is actually a character from like Count Duckula's castle.
I feel like most people know that counts have butlers.
Yeah, but in particular, this like blob of black pixels is supposed to be.
Oh, okay. People are excited about the corn. People are excited about anti-platformers. This is the world's first anti-platformer. I disagree. There have been a lot of anti-platformers in the world. Pong,
okay,
not a platformer.
So Kalen game overed on the big jump in the room immediately after the butler, the one that pretty much everyone else took a game over on before figuring it out. That might be as far as they get. 7 minutes? We'll see. It's going to be a tight pull to get further than that.
By the way, there are some versions of this game that actually kind of look good.
Yeah, there's also one that's even worse than this, but I declared that it was too slow and boring for Kusog7ande, and that was the Amstrad version. This is the middle of the road. There's worse.
Oh, that's... Well... I don't know. We're here to suffer. This is what life is about. Life is suffering.
I want the suffering to at least be a little interesting. Like
suffering.
Like there is value in inflicting suffering that is enjoyable versus just going way too far and just no one's having fun.
Fine. Okay, I'll go ahead and let that be. Fine. Whatever. Y'all... Tristan doesn't want you to suffer, chat. What do you think about that, huh? Do you want to suffer? I don't know.
Amstrad Action reviewed the Amstrad version and gave it a 3 out of 100.
That's impressively low. Like, that's shockingly low. Oh, chat might want to suffer. They're a little undecided at this point.
Well, I mean, I can always pull out the Amstrad version in the future after everyone's forgotten about this conversation.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just trying to find a good picture of Count Duckula. Come on. There we go. I found a good picture. One that's, like... It's important. I'm trying to do setup for the next match, and part of it involves me going and picture hunting. Because why not?
For the jump cut.
Crappy's gotta run. Crappy's gotta run past whatever has happened. Yeah.
I would run away from this if I, had the power to do so. We got 4.5 minutes left. The thing I'm watching right now, aside from Lobston Tempestral having the potential to set a new first place, is will Nesarius get past the butler and into the horrible platform room? Because that will decide who comes in 3rd/4th.
Yeah, and that's super important. Like, we're seeing people, their lives in the tournament are on the line. Tristan, let me just tell you that I was very upset with Survivor the other night. Because we were watching it, and Jeff Probst, I love you, Jeff Probst, okay? Absolutely fantastic host. But he said, like, everybody lit their torches, and he said the typical phrase. I think he actually had one of the players say it because they were, like, a super fan of Survivor, and the phrase was, like, fire. In this game, fire represents your life, and when it gets extinguished, so does your chance in the game, or whatever the crap it is. And then right after that, Jeff was like, but fire is literally your life in here. And I'm like, no, it's a metaphor, Jeff. You just had them describe a metaphor. Jeff Probst, come on. You know what a metaphor is.
People misuse the word literally all the time. Actually, it's not a misuse anymore. If I recall correctly, Webster updated the definition to literally state that a sub-definition of literally is metaphorically.
I mean... but not in the way that Jeff Probst used it, okay? If you're saying, I'm literally dying right now, then it sort of is slang for metaphorically. But if you say it with the intonation that Jeff Probst said it, Jeff Probst, the host on Survivor, then it would be a misuse because it was not being used... Context.
Okay.
Context is very important on whether or not literally is not literal.
So we have 2.5 minutes left in the match. I'm not going to waste them explaining to you how you're wrong. We're going to just move on. Lops did not manage to get into first. I think that's going to set the final placements here as Tempestral, then Lops, then Kalen, and then Nesarius is probably eliminated at this point. But for all we know, someone may zip to the credits in the last 2 minutes. It's happened before.
Yeah. Also, Tristan, there's like no right language or wrong language. I'll go ahead and agree with that. Just as Stephen Fry explained it, saying that there are no right or wrong clothes. Context, convention, and circumstance are all. So, but
bros,
go away, Roar.
Or descriptivist.
I'm a descriptivist. I believe that dictionaries are there to describe the way that language is used. But I will also say that Jeff used it. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm going to go ahead and quote Danny DeVito in the movie Matilda. I'm big, you're little. Wait, did I just call myself fat? Crap.
I don't know. I do actually love the drive-by,
the roaring.
The drive-by roaring, the opining, the drive-by opining.
Yeah, I love Roar. I love Roar's little occasional cameo.
See, we get the banter going, and then I get sharp because that's funny.
I enjoy it as well. Tristan, it's been so long since I've had you here,
left, though.
But we've had a lot of fun time with this very much not fun game. With that said, yeah, Tempestral has done amazing in the game.
Absolutely. We did, I believe, get a completion last time I had this on, but it was, I think Tempestral's like one room from the end is where they set the bar.
I think
and this
so,
game
yeah.
is slow and mean.
Now, you don't say. Wonder why it's on Kusog7ande then.
All right, I think that locks it in. We've got Tempestral in first, Lops in second, Kalen in third, and Nesarius in fourth.
And that is that. Unfortunately, that does mean that Nesarius is out, but the others will live to fight another day in Kusog7ande. Just Tempestral has a very decent chance of making it into the bracket now. Like, seriously, that was a fantastic effort there. So yeah, there you go, everybody. I love that there are some fans of individual players in the chat as well. I see some people cheering for Callan. Like, not last is good. I mean, unless they want to be eliminated, in which case not last. It's like crap. Other people hated this game. I'm gonna go ahead and invite Tempest to come and chat, choit. Why did I say choit? What the crap is a choit? That's not a real word.
You know what? Anytime I accidentally like botch out a word like that, I worry I'm gonna look it up and it is a word. And
yeah, I'm not gonna look that up. Okay, I think the reason I said choit was because I combined. Oh my gosh, combined chat with voice, and I was trying to say that I would invite Tempestrel to come chat in voice, and it turns out it came out as choit. Hey, want to choit with us?
Having one of those days, huh?
Oh my
yeah,
gosh. Sure. Yeah, today is like word fusion the day. If I get a
this is one
migraine
of those
after
days
that,
where
yeah, well, that'll explain why I'm dumb.
This is one of those days where I woke up and I constantly feel like I'm like 3 feet behind myself.
Yeah.
That's a mood.
Oh my gosh. With that said, like, you did really well in this game. You made a heck of a lot of progress. You made it to the cupcake room. Did you make it to the room after the cupcake room?
Cupcake room. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't looking at the set dressing. I saw the set dressing. I remember was I saw some like some what I guess were posters. I saw a sort of Uncle Sam, "We Want You" knockoff poster that was genuinely terrifying to look at.
Yeah. It's because you were on Planet Cute. And you hate everything cute. That Count Duckula hates everything cute.
Okay, you're gonna have to forgive me. I know of Count Duckula, but the show was a little before my time.
Same here. Or after my time. It just was. Or I'm American. Apparently,
it is one of the many.
Yeah.
It's one of the many Daffy Duck is another character spin-off shows that Warner Brothers did.
Sort of.
It's not Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Is it not? Is this not one of the Daffy Duck ones, like Duck Dodger, Maui
This was
Mallard?
made in Canada. No. This is by your country.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Well,
your people made this, and I'm glad that we were able to expose you to your own culture.
It's British.
Oh, well, okay, never mind then. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe when this came out, it could have been Canadian. I don't know.
Oh, we probably got it here.
I'm in so much trouble now.
Tristan, if the roles are ever reversed, you best believe I'm giving you some real mean garbage, because this was unpleasant. This might have been like my least favorite game that I've played to date.
There's a worse port. I gave you the good one.
What's the worst one?
The Amstrad.
Oh, well, I mean, okay, but like the Amstrad is not a real computer. Like, come on. Like everyone knows the Amstrad's like fake garbage.
Wow.
Here's the thing.
Wow.
I don't know. Look, the Amstrad didn't have a presence in North America. I don't know anything about it. I'm sure the Amstrad's a perfectly fine computer. I've heard very good things from people who like it, and also only ever things from people who like the Amstrad. There were like 2 Amstrad users. Anyways, this is Tedium the game. This was unpleasant, not because it was particularly hard. Like, yes, it was clumsy. The controls were bad. It was very sluggish, but it was mostly just unpleasant to play because it was very boring. It was incredibly uninteresting, uneventful, really nothing game. And that's really the best way I can describe it, is that it was just, I felt like I was doing pretty well, but I also felt like in this kind of game, anyone could be doing well because half the game was waiting around.
Yeah, that's the rough thing. Like, you know, how much do you want to push yourself to make progress, or is it worth it to wait? And like, it's a very difficult answer here because, and you know, there were some rooms where you saw very clearly if you tried to go relatively fast, you were going to die. Punished. Yeah, it punished you all the time for playing.
I do think there's sort of, I don't think this is really all that interesting, but probably the most interesting takeaway I can make about this game is because this game is basically just Spelunker with Yoku blocks.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the whole game, right? because of its sluggish pace, for one thing is that the resets take a long time, right? So like one run took functionally 15 minutes at the length of run I was doing, and so you didn't get many attempts in an hour. You only get 4, really, maybe 5.
Yeah.
And what that means is that on one hand, I'm encouraged to take risks, and on the other hand, I'm also encouraged to sort of sit in a room and observe patterns and try and observe cues. Like there were a couple of times where I had to like see where an enemy was on the screen to tell when a platform was going to move.
Yeah.
And I figured that out pretty quickly, and I'm going to say that was probably part of why I made it as far as I did. But I think there's a bit of like push and pull between wanting to stay and observe and wanting to take risks because you know you don't have many chances to get back to this room if you game over. But that's like the most like nothing strategy, a tug of war ever. Like that's like such an like it's the most minimal faint praise I can give this game. This came out in 1992. That's absolutely dire, is what that is.
I mean,
tragic.
Yeah.
This is a tragedy in one part.
Oh, come on, like 3 people made this port. Like,
okay, it's a tragedy in 3 parts then.
That's a thought I had when I figure out, hey, this might be a game for Kusog7ande or whatever. I have to think about what is it I'm actually testing here, and I had the thought that what I'm actually testing is how disciplined can someone be in inspecting the thing before just jumping in, and how much can they resist the pressure to go because the timer is ticking. So that's a thought I had. It's what I thought made it interesting, because the game sure as heck didn't.
Yeah, I feel like this game
that's justified.
is absolutely not interesting at all outside of any sort of competitive environment, and even within a competitive environment, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about, like, because I was a GM last year, and I was thinking, like, if I was going to give out this game, what would I think about it? And the thing that really got to me was how slow it was to get back to your last position, like how slow resets were.
Oh, yeah.
And that kind of turned me off the idea of this as a race game. But I agree that testing your ability to be patient and observe the level before jumping in is a good skill to test. Really, this is like, I feel like a very, very good at testing that particular fundamental skill, which we talk about a lot on Kusog7ande. So,
Yeah, I think
I mean, I'm not going to complain. I got first, so,
No, you can't complain. You're absolutely allowed. And honestly, I complained a lot about this game as well, because, watching, it's like I feel the desire that y'all have to just try to get through the room on this specific rotation, even though it technically is impossible. You're not going to be able to do it. But I understand that push for you to do that. So it's a very unique type of testing when it comes to Kusog7ande. I'm glad that like you two or you 4 all got to sort of experience something that's not really what you expect when it comes to a platformer. But that said, this game is bad. And, I don't think anybody can really make a case for this. It's not even good based off of ZX Spectrum.
I was remarking that as well on my stream. I said, this isn't even, like, the best ZX Spectrum game I've played, because in Kusog7ande, because I was given RoboCop 2 for ZX Spectrum, and that game was both played better and was more visually impressive. And that's a RoboCop game, and they're all terrible.
Oh, they're so bad. But Ocean...
So it's like, how is that game better?
Because Ocean actually puts passion into strange places. That's how it's better.
Strange, yeah. That's a way of putting it, sure.
Yeah, well, they seem to go all out, and if they're going to fail, they usually fail spectacularly. That's what I really like about Ocean. It's going to be miserable, but at least you'll feel something,
Yeah. Well, I certainly feel something now, and it's mostly disdain. But I mean, it's the Spectrum, so I to be expected.
Yeah,
that's fair. Normal when interacting with me.
I do need to move on to the next game, though. So, Tempest Troll, do you have anything coming up that people should know about? Anything
I
happening
don't
right
really-
now that people should know about?
I don't really have anything going on in my own life or on my stream. I need recommendations for games to play, actual good games, not like joke suggestions. Because I just finished Yakuza 0, great game.
That's so good.
I don't have anything else to play on my stream just yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. One of my friends said Darkest Dungeon.
Have you played Yakuza Like a Dragon?
No,
'Cause that's a
here's the thing.
proper
I know
RPG,
you can
come
play
on.
it. Okay, but like JRPGs aren't really my genre. Look, I want to play. I played Kiwami. I've played 0. I should have played them in the other order, but I didn't know at the time. And I'm gonna play 2 eventually. But it's a lot of talking to play those on stream, so I'm waiting.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna play the whole series all the way through. But not yet. I guess the only thing I want to plug is Horrible Games, which is still going on today until about midnight.
We rated that yesterday, and I'm glad that we were able to go during. I think it was one of the Silent Hill games, so that was cool. Well,
Yeah,
sweet.
Silent Hill.
Everybody come up with suggestions for Tempest Troll chat. I'm sure you can do this. Other than that, thank you so much. And Tristan, thank you as well. I've got to move on to the next game, so take care, friends.
Okay, see you later.
Bye.
Yeah, on the way out, I just wanted to point out, it's kind of neat that Tempest Troll talked about the tragedy in 3 parts because we spent most of the match talking about the tragedy in 2 parts.
I'll have to rewatch it then.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.